Azerbaijan, situated on the shores of the Caspian Sea, is one of the oldest oil producers in the world, but is now poised to transform its energy landscape. With COP29 being hosted by Azerbaijan, I visited the country to explore its journey toward renewable energy, discovering shared lessons that could complement Nigeria's ongoing transition. Our journey begins in this 140-year-old house in Baku. A piece of history lives within these walls. This is the Nobel House where the Nobel brothers lived, well-known oil tycoons and a huge part of Azerbaijan's oil history. Robert and Ludwig Nobel dominated Azerbaijan's oil industry through their company Branobel, which they founded in 1876. Historical records show that their influence led Azerbaijan to produce 50% of the world's oil by the early 1900s. Nigeria and Azerbaijan share a common history of oil production. As the global north pushes to defund fossil fuels, our energy transition plan must enable us to responsibly utilize our fossil fuel resources while advancing green energy infrastructure, topics that will be crucial at COP29. Understanding Azerbaijan's energy transition begins with Azercosmos, the country's national space agency. Climate research is crucial in the fight against climate change, providing essential data and insights that shape policy decisions and guide sustainable practices. Founded in 2013, Azercosmos has made this a key focus. Their recent climate report highlights the vital role space research plays in tackling environmental challenges. Then there's the Garadagh solar power plant, which stands as a beacon of progress. The Garadagh solar power plant is the largest of its kind in the Caspian region. This power plant has the potential to produce about 500 million kilowatt-hours of electricity every year. That saves about 110 million cubic meters of natural gas and reduces carbon emissions by about 200,000 tons a year.
A little bit more energy.
I had the opportunity to interview the Azerbaijan country manager of Masdar Clean Energy to discuss this monumental project.
So Azerbaijan announced its strategy to reach 30% of the renewable energy share in total energy mix by 2030. This project was the first utility-scale project to Azerbaijan, and it's set a good example for all other projects to come.
And what were the financing and investment mechanisms for this plant?
Right now we have, it's a Masdar, 100%, which is the equity owner, plus the group of international financing institutions like Asian Development Bank, Abu Dhabi Development Fund, EBRD, and JICA.
And how does the cost of solar energy compare to the cost of fossil fuels in this region?
We believe that the levelized cost of electricity from the renewable energy right now is quite competitive to levelized cost of electricity generated from the fossil fuel. Because again, the energy prices are relatively high, especially on the international market. So when you compare by the market approach, the opportunity cost of the electricity from the fossil fuel, these days it's higher than the renewable energy.
Similarly, Nigeria's largest grid-connected solar plant, the Kano Solar Project, offers a glimpse of what's possible. The Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority was formerly the fund and project manager for this solar plant.
So the Kano Solar Project is one of many presidential assignments that NSA has done. The project is currently the largest grid-connected solar farm in the country, and a record that hopefully we will break very soon, as we are advancing with North-South Power, the development of a 20-megawatt solar hydro hybrid project, part of a larger 300-megawatt program. The Kano Solar Project, I believe, has set the ball rolling in bringing to the market large grid-connected solar capacity, and we will see several projects get to financial close. The Kano Solar Project as well provided lessons and inspiration for NSI's renewable energy platform. So Ripple is one of NSI's climate-aligned initiatives. It is structured to be a truly transformative, vertically integrated equity investment platform, driving renewable energy investments initially in Nigeria with the plan to access other African markets in the medium term. Our aim is to develop projects at scale that are innovative, effectively developed, and most importantly, that are bankable. So Nigeria has quite advanced regulations, and we have a progressive regulator. I think perhaps better than anywhere else on the continent. I think what we'd like to see is staying true to course as we try to attract investments. And it's fundamental that local actors are able to pick up the mantle and drive these investments. Like I said, local problems require local solutions.
Still in Azerbaijan, I visited their capital city's waste-to-energy plant. This waste-to-energy plant is considered to be the largest in the Caucasus region, with the capacity to produce 200 million kilowatt hours of energy per year. Just take a look at all of this waste, which is brought here 24 hours per day. The Baku waste-to-energy plant produces enough power to supply over 100,000 homes. While this technology seems to have its benefits when compared to traditional landfilling, there are also questions about how green this method really is. I wanted to ask what measures you have in place to reduce the impact on the environment, also in terms of emissions, when converting waste to energy, because of course there's a lot of incineration that goes on, and how you ensure that you comply with environmental standards.
The plant was constructed since 2009 until 2012 with the strict control of European directive on waste to energy.
And then what happens to the residual waste that you have after energy conversion? I know you mentioned like the waste to art project, for example, but what do you do with the residual waste after you've converted to energy?
After the incineration, so we have three kinds of the residues. This is the scrap metal, which goes to the market. We sell it. Another two residues is the bottom ash and fly ash. Bottom ash is the inert material. We did all the tests in the government authorities, in the private authorities, and we prove that we can use this material as a construction material under the asphalt roads with the mixture of quarry materials. The fly ash is the hazardous waste due to the corrosive substances in them. Therefore, we send it to hazardous waste landfill.
Back in Lagos, I visited the Lagos Waste Management Agency, who are exploring similar ventures. Several waste-to-energy projects are on the horizon, promising to transform how the city manages its waste and generates power.
We are setting up a waste-to-energy plant on the site of our dump sites at Ekpe, which is scheduled for decommissioning. Activities are winding down there. This waste-to-energy plant is in partnership with a Dutch company. That's Harvest Waste. The plant is going to take about 2,500 tons of waste daily and produce between 60 to 80 megawatts. And it's financed privately. So they're going to source the financing while the state provides the land and also guarantees of waste, that they're going to get that volume of waste daily. Now that's just one of our waste-to-energy projects. We've looked at the two major dump sites within the city. That's Olushosun, that's at Ojota, and Solus 3, that's at Igondo. And in partnership with a Ghanaian company, that's Zoom Lion, they've established a subsidiary in Nigeria. We are going to decommission those two dump sites, cover them up, place solar panels on them, and then we'll build transfer loading stations so that the waste will go into the transfer loading station, and then trailers will come out to go to new locations for material recovery. When the waste gets to that site in Ikorodu, it will be separated into the organic fraction to produce compost. And then the metals will also be separated out, and the plastics will also be separated out. The plastics will be used to manufacture waste bins that we can distribute free to households. So this initiative, this will, for once and for all, solve a major environmental issue in Lagos, which is that we have dump sites right in the middle of the city. In addition to that, we're exploring establishing a biogas plant. So we've done a feasibility study that was funded by Swedfund, a Swedish government agency. And this was done in partnership with Lamata, exploring the potential to use biofuels to power our urban mass transit and our compactor fleet. And the results of the feasibility study says that we have enough organic waste in Lagos and that the economics are positive, meaning that if we do this, it's going to be profitable for whichever private company is going to do that.
For Nigeria, COP29 is a key opportunity to attract more foreign investment in green initiatives while advocating for African-led solutions to the continent's energy transition.
The analysis that we've done at the Center for Climate Change and Development in Palike, under the Deep Decarbonization Project, which I led, shows that Nigeria needs at least $800 billion between now and 2050 to be able to break even in making the transition from fossil fuel economy to the green economy. African-led solutions are critical to ensure that African countries are not only making the transition to the green economy, but that they are doing that in the context of sustainable development. If we don't follow African-led solutions, we can easily imagine a situation where Africa actually makes the green transition, but then ends up replicating the same kind of economic dependence that we still have in the fossil fuel economy, where, for example, we will have to import all our solar panels from Germany or from China. And that is not sustainable. Nigeria has to work very hard to achieve clear gains at Azerbaijan. Number one, to put pressure on G20, G7 countries, developed countries to make radical emission reductions. In order to be able to achieve these goals, Nigeria also needs to put its own house in order. Make sure that we are going with the right kind of people, with the right kind of plan, with the right kind of strategy. Otherwise, we will end up just going there, as has been the case sometimes in the past, where we just go and walk around the streets and come back with nothing.
As Azerbaijan steps into the role of a green energy leader in Eastern Europe and Western Asia, it presents a unique opportunity for Nigeria to forge new partnerships that have historically been overlooked. Nigeria must prioritize striking impactful agreements at COP29 that will solidify its commitment to renewable energy and climate resilience. Selecting the right delegates and focusing on negotiations that can lead to substantial deals will be crucial. It is essential for Nigeria to emerge with decisive actions that will propel the country forward in its energy transition efforts. Leila Johnson Salami, Arise News.